It's Thursday, the 23rd of October. It started blowing a little bit, perhaps because also the weather gods knows that bad weather is coming. There is this hurricane Melissa that is working its way into the western part of the Caribbean. At the moment it's still a tropical storm, but by Saturday, so in 2 days time, it might well develop into a hurricane. So we are going to escape from it and go west. So destination at the moment is the Bay Islands off the coast of Honduras, and if by Saturday this hurricane keeps going west before turning northeast, as hurricanes are supposed to do, we might actually go even further west and into the Rio Dulce of Guatemala. But let's see. First destination is these Bay Islands, and the distance is 320 nautical miles, which means that we'll need to do it in 2 nights. We don't want to arrive at nightfall. So leisurely we're going to check out here. We're going to get our spear gun back, and then it's off to the Bay Island. So it's 5:30 in the afternoon, and we are 60 miles from our destination. Since we don't want to go into this reef at night, we need to slow the boat down. So we're going to take down the main. This I'm still doing 6 knots. Because there's more wind than forecast. I made all my calculations, but with wind 15 max 20 knots, and the wind has been between 20 and 25 knots. So I went 1.5 knot more than the maximum calculated speed to arrive during daytime. So it's still not good enough without the main, because we are still arriving at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to roll away a piece of the jib. This actually reminds me of our delivery trip, where it was under engine except for the piece on the North Sea, where we had this little borrowed jib, which was more or less half of ours. And with the 4.6 from behind, we had a speed limit of 19.7 that actually lasted until I think half a year ago. So now we're down to 5 knots with this very little piece. It's Saturday morning, local time 5:15. The sun should be rising about 20 minutes. So this is Guanaja, I think it's called, the most eastward island of the Bay Islands of Honduras. So this island has got a coral reef all around it. Relatively straightforward entrance here through the opening here, and then we're going to anchor here, and we're going to take the dinghy to the main inhabited island. Well, the hurricane Melissa is unfortunately arriving on Jamaica. So the weather is overcast. It's the let's say it's all due to this hurricane. The big stingray just kind of covered itself completely under the sand. Tied up the dinghy up front so that it stays here when it rains. And we didn't catch any fish. The snorkeling expedition did produce a whole bag of plastic, including the bag. We are leaving this bay with the little island, I think it's called Banaco, where everybody is living. 2,000-3,000 people on a piece like this, and they do that because of the sandflies, apparently. It's a great little little island. There's also a garbage dump where you dinghy past and throw it in. The first language is English. Apparently that's because centuries ago the Brits moved several thousand slaves from St. Vincent, I think, to these Bay Islands. And go to the next one, the one in the middle, Roatan, the biggest one. It's about 30 miles. Due to Melissa, we've got winds from the west, which is very uncommon in this area, and that means that we are going to go upwind. That was a far rougher sail than we anticipated. We've had absolutely everything. 25 knots. It was mainly on the nose, and now in the end there is no wind at all. We also had a couple of squalls, but that wasn't the problem. We realized that all our 3 winches here in the back, the dip sheet winch, the main sheet winch, and the outhaul winch of the jib on the other side, their paws don't block. This happens, yeah, I think this happens about once a year, and we have to take them apart and clean them. The sun is setting in this beautiful bay, and it's the 31st of October. We celebrated Halloween the whole afternoon in that floating bar with the people living there. And Fabio's been spending the time when we were not celebrating Halloween, cleaning the winches. And we are going to go on a dinghy excursion. Let's see how much it reminds me of the canals in Holland. Well, we have a bridge, so that's similar. Okay, this we don't have in the Netherlands, mangroves. We are coming to a lake, and on Google Earth you don't see anything. I mean, this looks like it's just mangrove forest. Good morning from the Bay Island Utila. We arrived a few days ago with this American boat that is lying next to us. After a terrible trip from Roatan, we had absolutely everything, and half the trip we were motor sailing because close hold didn't do it. So we were closer to than close hold, only with the mainsail up, engine running, because that's the problem. You need to arrive in these places at a certain time, so we needed a straight line speed of at least 5 knots, which we wouldn't have made if we had just been tacking. And then we suddenly had wind from the back, and then we had no wind at all, and then we had squalls, and well, that's not what the weather forecast was. And then we arrived, and then we actually arrived on the other side of the bay, because that's where the anchorage was indicated. But then we spent a terrible night there, both of us, for anchor, because the waves came from the southwest, something that was not forecasted either. So then the next morning we moved here. Ever since we've been here, it's been grey and raining and yeah, and cold. I mean, 2 nights ago I actually took out the socks. So when we woke up this morning and we saw some blue sky, we came back to life. So you see all these winter clothes hanging here. That is because I decided to run a washing machine yesterday, which was of course a great idea, had it not been for the water exit of the washing machine that goes here and then it goes out, had jumped off. So this was full. This, our electricity cupboard was full with water, and my cupboard's down here. All the clothes. Accidents happen. Also on board when you're not sailing. That's the town of Utila, where we checked out. We are going to go to the up-down Keys.
1,90 m, 4 metri, 5.
It went from 35 meters to 3.5. I've got Diamond Key, and then I've got the up-down. So I've got the reef that comes out, and it looks like they put that flag on the most western side of that reef. So in fact the guidebook said come like this and then turn to the left around the reef. And I've got what, 50 meters perhaps to that side, the Diamond Key, and yeah, same here. And here we are, anchored on 8 meters and not on land. Oh, 3 boats, we're anchored, and 3 dinghies. We are going to go snorkeling in the water case, which we believe are that way. And after snorkeling, we just went to visit the little village. There are actually 2 islands connected with a cement bridge. There's only 1 road going through, but it's cute. Back here on the left, and in between the flag and the little island called Diamond Key, to the right, and then that's the direction. At the moment it's upwind, but the wind is going to change and probably die down. We're going to have an overnight sail or motor to Rio Dulce, Guatemala. We haven't seen much, of course, of Honduras. We've only seen these Bay Islands, but beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful people, nice food. It really feels like yeah, like a good Caribbean place to be. The islands that I also wanted to see were Cochinos, which are that way. A lot of people say that the difficulty of cruising is accepting that you cannot go everywhere. Besides, of course, the fact that you miss everybody at home. So this is a greeting to you all back in Europe, family and friends. We do really miss you. We do not miss the weather though, beginning of November. I think this is a better place to be. It's 5 o'clock and the sun is going down. It has been an absolute beautiful sail. Now you can see that there is no wind left, and what little there is coming from there. But until now we are sailing a really close hauled, this flat sea. I think true wind speed was about between 6 and 8 knots. Boat speed was between 4 and 5. Really a great sail. Fabio switching on the engine. And then we hope that the wind is coming back. Up go the daggerboards. Beautiful sunset. And it's 2 days, I think, after full moon, so we are going to have a moonrise in a couple of hours. It's 8:30 in the morning on Saturday, and we are approaching the entry buoy of the shallow part between here and Rio Dulce. Now I thought, before looking at the charts, I thought, well, you know, it's just a bar that you have to go over. So a piece of, I don't know, a couple of tenths of meters, where it's very shallow. Also because I've heard this story also by my parents, that it's less than 2 meter drafts, and up Rio Dulce is one of the most favorite winter harbors in the whole of the Caribbean. So what they do with the keelboats that have a deeper draft is they come out with 2 dinghies, and one dinghy ties a rope from the top of the mast, and so that it heels over, and the other dinghy then pulls it. So, right, you do that a couple of meters and then you release him again. But no, this bar, which is not a bar but a landfill, goes on 1 nautical mile, so we are talking about 2 kilometers. Well, good that we are not sailing Friday anymore, because there's no way Fabio would have allowed her to be tilled over and pulled for that kind of distance. We have got with the boards up. The deepest point of our boat are the rudders. That's 80 centimeters, but to prevent anything hitting from the rudders, we put the boards on 1 meter, and then we draw 1 meter. So we were anchored there where the catamaran is, and then the guys picked up our passports, the paperwork of the boat, and came back 1.5 hours later with everything stamped. And now it's in the gorge. There's between half a knot and 1 knot current coming out. Our first bend. Contrary to Canal de Varaduro, there shouldn't be any problem here with our 1 meter draft. It really feels like sailing in the jungle. Now, we have read that this was a beautiful trip. It's difficult to exaggerate the lushness of this place. Very, very special. Slowly we're getting out of the gorge towards the first lake. The lake is out there. I came from back there. And I have to go around this island and in there. And here we are anchored in Rio Quemado with Fabio up at the mast to change the wind instrument. Now that's the direction of the lake. He's looking down. Checking the connections, and it's turning nicely. After a couple of days of relaxation, we are exiting our little hole in paradise, and we are going to turn to the left, traverse this lake called El Golfete, and then we'll be arriving at Rio Dulce. It's 12 miles to cross this lake and then do another bit of the gorge, and then we should be there. And here we are arriving in Rio Dulce. It is Friday the 28th of November, and I am standing in front of the bridge at Rio Dulce. So we have been here for 20 days now. It's unbelievable how fast time goes. Of course, we went to visit Tikal for 3 days. We slept in a hotel instead of on board. That was nice. And the rest of the time, it's just it has flown. This is a place where you have thousands of cruisers. There are marinas everywhere. There are small marinas, maximum I would say 50 boats, really everywhere inside the jungle. And over there, completely in the end, there's a marina where we celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday with all the American boats. And usually also this is full of boats. But the hurricane season being officially over, people are leaving. We are back in Rio Quemado. we stay here for the night, because then tomorrow morning at sunlight we can go out to get to Livingston, and then we are going to check out and move to Belize. Saturday morning at 6:30, and we are on our way out again. It's rainy, it's dreary, not very nice, but it does mean that it almost looks like it's boiling. We are going to arrive at Livingston. Livingston, there's no cars, no road goes to Livingston, so the roads end up in Rio Dulce, and from there it is more than an hour by speedboat, these long lancheras, to Livingston. So meaning that if you got a hotel room there, you're going to fly to Guatemala, then you're going to have a bus ride for 6 hours, anywhere between 5 and 10, and then you're going to have at least 1 hour by speedboat. Mountainsides with graffiti. I wonder how they came up there. Looks like somebody must climbed in a mast to get there. And goodbye jungle. I don't think we are going to see this anytime soon again. We just took the dinghy, went ashore, checked out, took close to 2 hours, and then it's 35 miles in that direction to one of the outer keys of Belize. We are arriving in Belize, and we are only going to do the outer reef and some atolls. Now it is really pretty impressive. Take you outside in a minute, but we are going to have to go through here and then up there. And there we've got our first two islands, reef islands. Now it's got a reef all around it, and there are some cuts, and that's where we have to go in. We do this for fun, right? Well, getting in to an unknown cut in a reef. We came in from down there, took around the cat. Then we're in front of here, Nicolas Cage. And the electronic charts are said to be off, so we have all type of satellite imaging. We threw out 40 meter chain on 6 meters. Let's see how this place looks. But at the moment I definitely preferred my Cayo Quemado in Guatemala to these spectacular reefs in Belize. The Belize is actually a small country. It's the only country in Central America that doesn't have access to the Pacific, so it's only on the Caribbean side, and it has got a barrier reef. This is the end of the barrier reef, so the southern part, and it goes all the way north. It should be the second longest barrier reef in the world after the Great Barrier Reef of Australia. It's the 1st of December, so I thought, let me make a nice video. I went outside with my GoPro and I lost it. So from now it's a voiceover. The next day we go to this Tom Owens Key, which has this private little island with very special architecture, and an offrey that we saw that had just fished this, what looked like some kind of a flat fish that took it all around the island before sitting in the palm tree. A few days later we went to Oranaguara Cay. It's another beautiful place. Now we are anchored on 1.7 meters and taking the paddleboard to the island of Raguana. Another private island, but here they allow for tourists and they have 3 lodges and a great bar. We try our first Belize beer before returning home. And what do we see? A white stingray. This is obviously not the place to lose an underwater camera. Followed by a full moon. Far too soon, it's time for the last atoll, the Lighthouse Atoll, with the spectacular half moon key where one enters, going through this very narrow cut of coral, and then anchoring together with the sharks that use the boat as a shadow. Now it's a natural monument with frigid birds, and it was in the nesting season. So then we see the males, they kind of inflate this red sac and make a lot of noise. So birds and palm trees where there is a campsite in between, and the combination makes for spectacular images. A sunset, and then we decided to cross the Lighthouse Atolls from this half moon key to the north. Now that's 4 hours of motoring and 2.5 meter circling around coral patches. And the water is just this spectacular transparency. Now, as we pass the blue hole on the left side, we see a water spout developing. We didn't think about passing, another reason. The fishermen, they go out and fish for a conch and lobster. And even the wrecks stranded on the outside reefs are spectacular in this place. So we arrive at Sunboard Key, the northern island within the atoll. Take a trip around and look at the northern side where we have to go through another cut to get out of Lighthouse Atoll. And of course we go snorkeling last time. I cried for not having the camera. We saw a huge spotted eagle stingray. But we also got the lunch. Then the 11th of December in the morning we go through our cut and leave for Cuba. Thank you so much for watching.